Let's talk herd.
I really, really like what you're saying there. And that's helped me because I think even I often think about it as going back or remembering. And you're absolutely right that we can't go back. Like, there's no going back from what we've experienced. We all have to go forward and find new balance, right? And part of it is maybe the animals doing their part or nature doing its part to say, you can't just close us out, right? This is an integrated planet. And then we say, so how do we now meet you given who we are today and what we are? And where's the compromise for both of us to figure out how to come back to a better balance together?
And will things change? Like that fundamental kill or be killed. Can that change? Like, can there be a different, it's not just about becoming, because I don't think it's as simple as like trying to do it in the paradigm like we stop eating meat, because that doesn't really work. Because
well, the other thing with that that I keep going back to is, like, we evolved to be able to eat many things. That humanity, our place in the cycle isn't that we are only being predators to plants, or we are only being predators. Like, I think we evolved a certain way for a reason, is that the way we contribute to the balance is that we can eat a wide variety
and like
of
you
things
said,
and survive.
Like you said, predators of plants. I mean, plants, that's the other thing, that plants have feelings, and, they are also, they're not. So it's like, but maybe what happens is that we start to be able to live from light energy. Is that, I mean, I don't know if you've heard of that, but I know someone who did a retreat recently, and she is doing it with this man who is I think he's like quite a unique person, in that he's had about 3 or 4 near-death experiences, and in which he was, and as a result of all of that life experience, of those experiences, he's learned how to train, because it's a training. It's not something, you don't just stop eating food. You have to train your cells to be able to use light energy for their energy. So there's a physiological change that happens. And he has the ability, according to her, to give this to other people. And it's a long process, and you do days of, but it's quite remarkable, because she was really ill before she did this. She's a doctor, and she wasn't working for a long time, and she was really pale, and she couldn't move. She had no energy. She never moved, and she couldn't even get up and do things. And so she did this retreat, and on the retreat they kind of built up to, it's not fasting, because they just literally they don't take water or food for, I think in the core of it, it's like for, I don't know, I can't remember, 48 hours or 72 hours. It was quite a long time. I thought, I was quite surprised, not taking water. And they're living on light. And she said when she took water again, when she took her first drink, it was such a weight. The density of it was almost impossible for her to cope with. But she's a completely different person. She's like, just got all her color back. She's got loads of energy. She's normal again, so whatever it is and whatever you think about it, it did that for her. And now she's working towards this, like being able to be complete. And this guy is completely independent. Like, he eats food socially, but he doesn't need to eat. He's gone like for years, literally, without eating or drinking, for that matter. So I was like, wow. But maybe that is the future.
Well, I met someone else recently. It wasn't light, but I forget what he called it, but it basically was breath.
Oh,
Breath.
yes.
And
Yes.
he lived with just working with his breathing, and breath was the life-giving thing for
Absolutely.
him.
Yeah.
And he was hardly eating or drinking.
Yeah. They talked
And
about people that,
so I think that there are definitely things I think we have to learn from these experiences. And again, going back to the balance, horses and humans are two of the most adaptable species in different ways.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's interesting.
that gives us so many opportunities to play around with. How do we contribute to the balance when we have a lot of flexibility and adaptability?
Absolutely.
If we keep our eyes on the bigger picture, which is we want to support the balance of the planet, instead of, I just think we've gotten down a path where we weren't really, for generations, this human species hasn't been thinking about that. And now the planet is kind of saying, you have a choice now.
Yes.
You can continue to not recognize yourselves as being part of an interdependent planet, or you have an opportunity to start figuring out how we do that going forward. And I think it is so important what you said of looking forward, because the solutions of the past are not going to be appropriate for today.